In this presentation, you will learn how to talk about how many people are in your family and who they are. Before proceeding with this one, go back and make sure that you know the names of the members of the family. Firstly, we need to look at the question, of course, because you'll need to ask the question or understand the question. There are 3 ways that are quite commonly used to ask about your family, and on the screen you can also see some kanji. So let's have a look at the kanji first. The 2 kanji you can see in each question are nan, for what, and nin. Nan, nin. Nin is for people. Put them together and you have the question, how many people, what people. The pronunciation for the first question is kazoku wa nan nin desu ka? In your family, how many people? For the second question, kazoku wa nan nin imasu ka? And the last question, nan nin kazoku desu ka? All the questions mean the same thing, the difference of course being at the end. Question 1 and question 3 both finish with desu ka. By now you're quite familiar with the term des, meaning to be. This middle question, kazoku wa nan nin imasu ka? Imasu is new to you. It means to have, but the things that you have must be alive, like your family members or your pets. So, repeat again. Kazoku wa nan nin desu ka? Kazoku wa nan nin imasu ka? Nan nin kazoku desu ka? The answer is made up of a number plus the word nin for people and either des or imasu, so that my family is that many people or I have that many people. You then need to list the number of people using to, the particle to between each one meaning and. Let's have a look at some examples. When we look at this example, we're going to take the perspective of the boy on the right. Let's pretend he lives with his mum and his baby brother. So if you think back to the pattern, we need a number first, the number 3, san. So firstly we need san nin des. There are 3 people, number, nin, and des or imasu. In this case, des is simple, san nin des. Now we need to list them using to. Because in this family, it's quite straightforward and there is only one of each person, this is the simplest one to start with. So let's have a look. You already know the word for mother, okasan. Between okasan, mother, and the next member in the family, we need the particle to. Now we need the other member of the family, in this case a younger brother, or the word baby, either one would suffice. Let's use younger brother, ototo. And even though we could finish here with des, because it's understood that you have included yourself in the count, let's just get used to the pattern of adding yourself on the end. Again, we need a to first, and we need to follow with boku or watashi. In this case, if you were the boy with the arrow to your head, you'd say boku, because of course boku can be used by boys. So the full answer of number nin des and the list of people is san nin desu. Okasan to ototo to boku desu. Let's have a look at another example. Again, you must be clear on whose perspective you are answering from. When it's your own family, you know. But in the case of a picture, we need to be sure that we're working from the correct person. So in this instance, we're going to look at the photo twice, and the first time through, it's the girl second from the right. So to start with, we need to figure out how many people in the family. Nan nin kazoku desu ka? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need the number 6, roku, nin desu. Now, because of the honorific system in Japanese family and the hierarchies that naturally follow, we need to start, of course, with the father first, followed by the mother, and then we actually work through the older siblings rather than going just by what's in the photo. So let's have a look at father and mother, and remember we separate those with to. So this person answers otosan to, okasan to, and now we need the older brother, or ni-san, followed by the in this case, we're going to presume younger sister. Imoto to. Now we need the younger brother. Ototo to. And we can finish with yourself. If you're talking about somebody else's family and you know their name, then obviously you can finish with their name. So let's pretend that the girl with the arrow is called Karen. So we finish off with Karen desu. So if you had been asked, Karen-san no kazoku wa nannin desu ka? You can answer rokunin desu, 6 people, and the list. Otou-san to, okaa-san to, onii-san to, imoto to, ototo to, Karen desu. Even if Karen is older, we still finish with her last. We always put ourselves lower down the hierarchy when we're talking about ourselves. If we look at the same picture from somebody else's perspective, we actually have 2 family members who are the same. So if we take the boy on the right, let's call him Tom, then he has 2 younger sisters. So we need to start thinking about how to actually include the number of people, rather than saying younger sister, which starts to make a ridiculously long list and also sounds like you've got a bit of a stutter. So let's have a look at how to do the list for this one. It's still 6 people, rokunin desu. So that part stays the same. Simple. The beginning of our list in the family continues the same as before, with the father, then the mother. Otou-san to, okaa-san to, and now we have to think about how to talk about these 2 younger sisters. To begin with, it's the same. We use the word for younger sister, imoto. Now we follow this with the number and the counter for people. In this case, our number is 2, and the counter for people you already know is nin. But because of the number of people we have here, we have to think a little bit. It's not simply ni nin. Somewhere on the wall in the classroom is another QR code to take you to a song that will get stuck in your head to teach you the counters for people from 1 to 10. So in this case, the 2 and the people is pronounced futari. And from there we continue the list as before with to and the younger brother. Ototo, followed by the person we're talking about, in this case Tom. Remember, if you were talking about yourself, you'd simply say boku or watashi. But we're talking about Tom, so we finish with to, Tom desu. So now our complete answer from Tom's perspective is rokunin desu. Otou-san to, okaa-san to, imoto futari to, ototo to, Tomu desu. Have a look at this photo. It's taken on Children's Day, formerly known as Boys' Day, in front of some traditional decorations for the festival. Let's have a look from the perspective of the boy on the left, and for this instance we're going to call him Hiro. So, Hiro-kun no kazoku wa nannin desu ka? We can presume a mum and a dad, and then let's pretend that these 3 little boys next to him are all his younger brothers. How do you think we could answer Hiro's family? Did you say start with rokunin desu? If so, good. If not, perhaps rewind and look at a previous slide. Rokunin desu. Now we start with the list. Have a go by yourself first. Did your list look something like this? Otou-san to, okaa-san to, ototo 3 人 to Hiro desu. So 3 people is nice and easy. It just follows the number and nin, 3 nin. And one final example, just to make sure you've got it. These children are pictured in front of a Hinamatsuri display, the doll festival display. Let's pretend that we are the young girl on the left, and we'll answer it as though we are her, so we don't need her name. We can just use watashi at the end. How would you answer the question, kazoku wa nannin desu ka, if you were this girl? Have a go at writing your answer yourself now. Does your answer look like this? 5 人です。お父さんとお母さんと弟2人と私です。To revise the way to count people, make sure you find the QR code on the wall in the classroom and learn through the song how to count people from 1 to 10. remembering that 1 and 2 are slightly different to normal numbers and nin. Good luck and keep working through the rest of your booklet.